Hi, this is Donna. Welcome to DD Paper Crafts. In today's video, we're going to be making this vase style gift box. This is 6 inches high. You don't need any specialty dies to make this, but if you do have a hexagon die, it does make it easier for the base and the lid, but I will show you how to make it without. So without further ado, let me show you how I put the box together. For the vase element, you'll need 6 pieces of cardstock, which are 2 3/4 by 4.5. Along the 4.5 inch side, score at 4, and with the 1/2 inch tab at the bottom, make a pencil mark at 2 3/4 inches. Fold and burnish along the 1/2 inch score line and rotate so the folded score line is up against the top of the scoreboard, and make a pencil mark at 5/8 of an inch, 1 1/8 of an inch and 2 1/8 of an inch, like so. You want to do that on all 6 pieces. Take your sections. I've got my 1/2 inch tab at the top. I'm going to start by joining up the second pencil mark along the 1/2 inch score line at the top with the first pencil mark along the bottom edge of the card. And you can run your score line right the way from the top of the cardstock, so through the 1/2 inch tab, like so. We're now going to shape our pieces. I've got my tab tucked under. I'm going to cut from the top right hand corner down diagonally to the pencil mark, which is 1/2 inch away from the score line, like so. Rotate, and we're now going to cut from the pencil mark here down to the bottom right hand corner. Fold and burnish the score lines. Cut a wedge from the end, like so. Cut a wedge up to the pencil mark and the score line, like so. Rotate and cut away the excess, like so. Do that on all pieces. For the bottom portion of the vase, you'll need 6 squares, which are 2 by 2. Along one 2-inch side, score at 1/2 inch. Rotate so the 1/2 inch tab is at the bottom, and make a pencil mark at 1/2 inch and 1.5 inches. Fold and burnish the 1/2 inch tab. Place it back in the scoreboard with the tab folded under at the top, and make a pencil mark at 1/4 inch and 1 3/4 inch. Take your stylus and ruler. We're going to score between the top right hand pencil mark down to the bottom pencil mark, and do that on both the left and the right hand side. Rotate your piece, the tab is at the top. I'm going to cut up the right hand side along the score line and fold under along the remaining score line. Burnish that. Rotate the piece. Our cut edge is on the left. Cut up the right hand score line up to the horizontal score line. Rotate and just remove that section. And add a wedge into the other end. You want to do that on all 6 pieces. Remove any of the pencil marks. Now we're going to join our pieces together. You may decide that you want to join all of your top elements together and then all of your short elements together. I'm going to add my top piece to a short piece, and then once all 6 pieces are joined, I'll then join all the pieces up. So glue these in whatever order you think is going to be easiest. Add glue to my bottom glue tab and sit the smaller piece on the top. Flip that over, and if necessary, just cut away any excess cardstock which sits over the score lines. I'll do that on all 6 pieces, I'm then going to add glue to the glue tabs and join the pieces together. I'm going to work my way round, doing that for all 6 pieces. Once that's all joined together, fold over the bottom glue tabs. So that's our vase profile. You can obviously change the size of the vase, change the height, change the width of the top sections, change where you have your score lines. So this is really an adaptable piece. The only thing to bear in mind is the measurement that you have at the bottom of this section is the same as the measurement at the top of the second section. If you have hexagon dies, cut yourself a hexagon for the base, which will have sides which are 1.5 inches. If you don't have hexagon dies, sit your vase on your chosen base cardstock, draw around the outside edge and then cut the hexagon out just inside the pencil lines, and that will give you a piece which will fit onto the base. I'm going to go ahead and cut myself a hexagon. I'm going to add a dot of glue into the ends of the tabs just to get those secured down. Add glue all the way around onto the tabs and then add my base piece on. Once I've got that into shape, I will flip my piece upside down and just burnish from the inside with my score tool, just to push down the tabs. So that's our vase. You could now, of course, decorate the outside of your box and fill it with your gift. I'm going to create a lid for mine. For the lid, I've cut a hexagon which is one size up in the nest. The sides here are 2.25 inches across, and this hexagon, each side is 2.5 inches across. If you don't have hexagon dies, you can still make the lid. Turn the vase upside down onto the cardstock, draw around the outside edge on the 6 sides, then add 1/4 inch on all 6 sides and then cut out the larger hexagon. I'm going to score on all 6 sides at 3/8 of an inch. Fold and burnish each of the score lines. And I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut along the score lines within the 1/4 inch tab to cut away the diamonds where the score lines intersect. Fold down the tabs, and now that piece sits inside the box. I'm now going to go ahead and decorate this section and then I'll come back and show you the final vase. Here's my finished box. I've added my DSP to the outside and a ribbon which just sits over the piece where the bottom pieces join. The lid sits in like so, and a lid this size sits in approximately 1/2 inch from the top edge of the box. So just bear that in mind when you put your gift in. I've used some random flowers from my stash to decorate. In the middle of the lid, I stacked up some layers of packaging to create a platform, as it were, which I then added a strip of green paper around, and that just gave me a section with some height in the middle to allow me to adhere my flowers to create a more rounded look to the top. You can use the platform or the flowers to remove the lid from the top. Overall, I'm pleased with how this has come out. I'll be certainly making this again in a taller size, and I think it's a very versatile gift box for many occasions. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel, and until next time, thanks for watching.